Go.
Welcome everybody. Today we have a policy debate. The prompt is should the government intervene in pricing strategies such as rent control and minimum wage hikes? Joining us are the three perspectives: a policymaker, a business executive, and an economist. Let's begin with opening statements.
Okay, so me as the police maker, I think that sometimes the market is not fair and that's why the government needs to help. Minimum wages laws make sure that workers get paid enough to live. So rent control stop people from losing their homes when prices get too high. I also believe that these rules protect families and help keep society fair and stable.
Uh, yeah, I'm going to talk about the business executive, so while the intent is noble, such intervention of backfire, minimum wages hike can force some business to cut jobs or reduce hours. Rent control discourages new construction and reduce housing supply. So the market prices reflect supply and demand, and tampering with these leads to inefficiencies, shortages, and even sometimes black markets. Let the market works, but yeah.
This is a classic efficiency versus equity debate. Economic theory warns us that price floors and ceilings create deadweight losses, misallocation of resources. But evidence is mixed. Minimum wages, for instance, don't always cause job losses. Example Card and Kruger, 1994. So the real question is how to balance trade offs between fairness and efficiency.
All right, so now we're gonna talk about the minimum wage. Right now, many people work 40 hours a week and still live in poverty. That's like, just simply not right. If we raise the minimum wage to 15 an hour, millions of workers will earn more, which means they can afford rent, food, and childcare. It's not just good for people, it's good for the economy. When workers earn more, they spend more. That supports local business too. Research from the Economy Policy Institute says that 32 million workers will get a raise. It will also lower stress, reduce turnover, and improve job satisfaction. The government has a responsibility to make sure work actually pays.
I agree with your point on that. Even that sounds good until the payroll cost skyrockets. So, in 2021, NFIB survey shows that a business, a small business were already struggling with labor cost since in USA, you know how the labor cost is so high compared to other countries. Based on this, many respond by cutting hours, increasing automations, or rising prices, and also adding the wages hikes and the blunt instruments. They don't account for regional cost for living variations.
So empirical studies diverge. The Carden-Kruger 94 study found no negative employment effects from a wage hike in fast food jobs in New Jersey. However, others like the CBO report in 2019 predicted that a $15 wage would eliminate 1.3 million jobs while lifting 1.3 million out of poverty. It's a trade-off. Targeted wage subsidies like the earned income tax credit may offer better outcomes.
All right, now if we talk about rent control, I think like in many cities, rent is going up much faster than people incomes. Families are being pushed out of their neighborhoods, and it's getting harder to find a safe and affordable place to live. Rent control helps stop that. It gives people stability and helps them stay in their homes. Look at cities like San Francisco or New York. Without rent control, thousands more people will be homeless or forced to move far away from their jobs and schools. When the market becomes too aggressive or unfair, the government must step in and protect all these people.
Okay, but yeah, rent control can sometimes backfire. Okay, so when landlords can't rise rents, they often reduce spending on repairs to save money. For example, a landlord might delay fixing a leaky roof or broken heater. Over time, the property worst, and the developers also avoid building new apartments if profits are limited, which reduce housing supply. In 2019, Stanford study showed that rent control in San Francisco causes a 15% drop in availability rental units. So while it helps current tenants, it make it harder for others to find housing later.
So, rent control is a textbook example of a price ceiling. It creates excess demand and undersupply. But not all policies are the same. Modern rent stabilization with modest annual increases and landlord incentives can mitigate these effects. The key is design. Sweden and Germany offer nuanced models with rent regulation and a healthy supply.
Okay, so I think that at the end of the day, we can just rely on the market to fix everything. We need rules that protect people and give everyone a fair shot. Minimum wage law and rent control are imperfect, as we all know, but they keep people from falling through the cracks. The goal isn't to control everything, it's to make sure the system works for all of us, not just for a few. That's what I think.
Yeah, that intention don't guarantee good outcome. So the government interventions like price control often backfires by distorting incentives. For instance, capping prices on essential goods might seem helpful, but it can cause shortages. Just like when a city caps rent and landlords stop renting or building homes, these policies can satellite entrepreneurship and hurt the very people they aim to help. Instead of rigid controls, we need smarter support systems that encourage growth, innovation, and real solutions.
Neither full intervention nor pure laissez faire is ideal. The best path lies in evidence based, flexible policies, minimum wages adjusted for local conditions, rent regulations that don't stifle supply, and support mechanisms like tax credits. Let's pursue balance, not extremes. Thank you.